Welcome back, Top Notch Gang. In my last video, I talked about how Tariq St. Patrick is getting a new love interest. It's going to be Noma's daughter, and that's going to be his leverage and way to win the war. Noma's daughter, Anya Covington, is the key. Now, I finally came up with a good theory and a good potential idea of how they could do this and set it up that brings this whole thing full circle, and it's basically for Tariq to take a play out of Kanan's book. And what do I mean by this? We all basically know Kanan mentored Tariq, got him in the game, taught him everything he pretty much knew, and then he exposed him to Ghost and his life and everything like that. So in this video, we're going to dive into if Anya Covington, if Noma's daughter, doesn't know the information about her mother, how Tariq could use it and maneuver Anya in his favor, just like Kanan did for Tariq against Ghost. So we're going to break down, compare both of those situations, and how Tariq could play his cards right and ultimately win the war with Anya Covington. As usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're going to dive right into it. I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this theory down below. But let's get into it. So this first part of the video is going to be about comparing what Kanan did to Tariq and how Tariq could utilize that against Anya. So let's get into that. So of course, when Kanan first got out of jail, he had a lot of plans and motions to undermine Ghost. They all just completely fell apart. Of course, first with girl with the pink sneakers, she didn't get the kill shot on Ghost to 5. And then also when he was trying to use his son to kill Ghost, and that backfired, he had to kill his own son. So plan C or D or whatever was Tariq, and he got close to him and he started exposing Ghost's past from being from the hood and all that to Tariq, and Tariq was buying into it, listening to him, and he started hitting licks and doing other shit with Kanan. So Kanan was manipulating him the whole time, and he told Jukebox the plan always was to get close to Tariq, extort him or hold him for ransom against Ghost, and then they'll kill Ghost and Tariq and take the money. Now, this plan ultimately failed as well for 2 reasons. One we'll get into later in the second part of the video when I talk about Tariq and Anya being love interests, because I could see that plan out so fucking good. But the first reason this plan failed, of course, is because Ghost was arrested by Angela for the murder of Greg Knox, I believe. So he never got to use this card or do the ransom. So that plan was ultimately canceled, and he was still manipulating Tariq. He told Reek that he believed Ghost did kill him. This nigga Tariq, like, I knew he did that shit. I ain't gonna lie. Tariq used to piss me off in the original Power. But Kanan was basically able to control his emotions and feelings about his father completely to the end. Because if you guys also remember, it was Kanan in the last episode where Tariq finally kills Ghost. He hallucinated Kanan, and it was Kanan who finally convinced him to take the kill shot on his father, get rid of him to become his own man. So Kanan was completely able to get under his skin, take control, teaches him everything he knows, and ultimately turn him against his father. Everything that happened bad in Tariq's life, he was able to pinpoint it and aim it towards Ghost, and that inevitably led to him killing Ghost, of course, with the hallucination of Kanan, like I mentioned. So he was able to take this negative situation of Ghost sending him to jail, him coming out not having product, no resources, no anything, and create this mastermind plan. And this is kind of the scenario Tariq is in, where his back is against the wall. It's everyone against him and Braden and maybe Obi, but he needs some sort of leverage, and I think this is the time for him to take a play out of Kanan's book. And how is he supposed to do this? Well, the information we currently have right now, it could possibly change, but it's that Anya doesn't have any knowledge of anything her mother does, that she's the queen pin, or any of the events that have taken place this season. So that puts her in the same position that Tariq was in the original Power series, and Kanan was able to use to manipulate. Now, Tariq could use this to get close to her and start revealing information about Noma that would change the way her whole childhood played out, worked, and the way she thinks. The biggest piece of information being that it was Noma who killed her dad. Now, I'm pretty sure Tariq will leave out the part that he set up this whole plan. He didn't, of course, at the time know it was her dad, but he did put the plan into motion and allowed Noma to take him out. But that piece of information could completely break her bond between her and Noma and turn her against Noma for good. And the leverage Tariq would be able to hold by being close to her daughter, putting her in a situation Noma might have to even call off the Tejadas, Effie, and all of them, stop them from trying to kill him because of the leverage that he has on her daughter. She probably doesn't want her daughter to find out about this world at all. She wants her as far away from this as possible, which is also why she moved her when Effie told her that Tariq knew her location. I don't think Noma wants her daughter anywhere near any of this. And that's the exact same way Ghost was for Tariq. But eventually your lies and secrets start to catch up to you. Kanan's was Ghost's way of it catching up to him, and Tariq finding out about his whole past. And I believe Tariq will be Anya's way of finding out about her mother, her father, all this going on behind her back, her whole life being a lie, basically. And this is just smart writing, I think, to do this, because once again, like I said, Kanan taught Tariq everything he knew when he was under the moniker Slim, manipulating him against Ghost, but he still initiated him into the game the same way he did for Ghost and them when he was younger. He did it for Tariq, and now Tariq could use this as an opportunity once again, like I said, take a play out of Kanan's book. And this puts us at a point at what is the extent that Tariq is willing to go to win this war, to get from under Noma, to be safe. How far will he be willing to utilize her daughter? Will he threaten to kill her? Will he just keep her close? Will he reveal information? It's all gonna be fun and cool to see him maneuver around this if this was to come true. And this is all, once again, a play out of Kanan's book. People don't give Kanan a lot of credit for being all these steps ahead, but he talked about it multiple times. I remember when him and Tariq was playing chess and he told him, you have to be 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of your opponent. And this puts Tariq in that position. But it also brings into question, like I said in my prior video, she is going to be his love interest. So how does that play out? How does that work? Like, can both things happen at the same time? And I believe it can, because remember, like I said, Kanan's original plan was to get close to Tariq, use him for ransom, and then kill Tariq and Ghost and leave with the money. But he, of course, grew a bond with him, started to love him, and started to look at him like a son. So this brings us into my second part of this video of how Anya and Tariq becomes new love interests and how that could sway how the rest of the story goes on. Let's get into that. So once again, of course, Kanan's plan was to kill Tariq and Ghost, but ultimately that never came to happen. He built a bond, looked at him like a son, so his plan never came to fruition. And ultimately, Tariq was Kanan's downfall at the very end. So could the same play out for Tariq in season 4? And I think they will take the love interest route for a lot of reasons. One, I pointed out how they strategically put her at Tariq's age at the perfect time. Because if you look at it right now, Diana and Effie are against him. They're on the other side. And also Lauren, his main love interest, has left. And so this opens up a perfect opportunity to add a new love interest into the fold with a good ass dynamic of her being Noma's daughter. Also, these type of shows always throw in a love interest storyline. And currently with him, Diana, and Effie on the outs, of course Lauren gone, Tate, he got rid of his girl, or they broke up, and they're gonna throw in a love storyline, and I feel like this is the best way to implement it. We're having a new character, something we haven't seen before. Now, of course, I have to point out that the characters that aren't in the game, if Anya, it comes to find out that she knows nothing about her mother, they don't fare too well in the Power universe. Look at Raina, look at Sean. Well, Sean was kind of in the game, or he knew about the game, but definitely wasn't in it. Look at Lauren. Like the kids of the characters who was in the game, it doesn't fare well for them. So if this is his new love interest, even if he uses her as leverage, whatever happens, I don't think it ends too well for her character. And of course, when he starts to expose and use her as leverage and give her information about Noma, that comes with information about himself, because I assume he will come come into this relationship lying, disloyal, not telling the truth, just like Kanan did. And ultimately, when Kanan had to feed Tariq some of this information, he eventually learned information about Kanan in the future, learned who he really was. And the same will happen with Anya and Tariq, of course. So how would this play out with their relationship? It could be doomed from the very start. So yes, he might win and turn her against her mother, but if this becomes a love relationship, love storyline, they're pretty much doomed from the very start, and he might as well not even fuck with it. I could also even see it getting to a point where they are getting too close and he decides to like call it off, because he's gonna realize that it's the same situation and circumstances he put Lauren in, and we all see how that worked out. But it'll be too late by then. She'll start finding out information, connecting it to him. They'll be in way too deep by the time that happens. But I could see him trying to push her away and keep her at arm's distance if it's going too far, because of course he needs her as leverage to win the war right now, because he currently has nothing. But using her as leverage, it might get to a point where he doesn't want to do that anymore. He doesn't think it's worth it, because he might actually do start to like her. But by then, of course, like I said, it'll be way too late. She'll be in too deep, and her interactions with other characters, even besides Tariq and Noma, just will be so interesting to watch. Her and Effie, or her and Diana, even her and Kane, like that shit would be hilarious to watch. I'm interested to see the approach of how all this plays out, how he refines the daughter, because we know Noma had a move, like I said, and how he gets close to her, how everything just plays out is just so interesting. And I can't wait till we get this fucking new season. I know the writer's strike is still going on, and they only finished about 7 episodes, so they still gotta film 3. The trailer's not coming out way to probably January of next year, and that's assuming the writer's strike ends soon, because we still gotta get BMF, Raising Kanan, and Book 4's Tommy show. So I really just want a year to advance so we can go right back into Power Book Goes. So my question is to you guys, do you think this relationship is what could last? Will it be a change? Like, will it be different from what we've seen in the past? And also, do you think this character would last? Because looking at the receipts, it doesn't look too good for characters who have nothing to do with the game. Once again, look at Lauren, Sean, Raina, and it goes on and on. So I want you guys to leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. Like, do you think Tariq will take this play out of Kanan's book? Do you think he will be able to utilize this as leverage, finally get out the gang, get from under Noma? Will he use it and go as far to use it to win the war? How do you guys see it playing out? As usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.